Hello, MGTOW. Hello, man. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, we often hear the expression that there's no differences between the genders, right? And that gender is a social construct. And whenever I hear that, I usually start getting angry and start inventing arguments within my own head. But there's a difference between gender and sex. Because gender is, of course, the physical characteristics, sexual organs, differences in physical strength, things like that. So, of course, there are differences between the sexes. This is undeniable. But what the feminists are suggesting is that there's no difference, that gender is a social construct, that the attitudes, the outlooks, and things like that are just determined socially. And that, too, is an absurdity. Because you're suggesting that the biology has no effect on, the mental state. So that's insane. And a lot of the problems and frustrations that we're dealing with right now are because of the idea that the genders are equal, when they're not. They're, each one has their ideal set of functions and behaviors. But these lines are being blurred, and as a matter of fact, women are turning into men. And I hate to tell you this, guys, men are turning into women. Now, don't worry, because it can only go so far. The gender roles are, it's not just that they're reversing, but that, and I got this from a video from a Canadian prepper, and I'll point to that video. He's got some really good videos. It's not pure MGTOW stuff. It's prepper, survivalist stuff. But he's got a lot of strong pro-male, no bullshit approach to, how the men and women would be interacting in, an off-the-grid emergency situation. So I'll definitely point to that one video. And he talks about, and the reason why he talks about the requirements of a modern civilized society and how there's less need for the typical traditional male role model, male presence that, we're kind of familiar with. The aggression, the protecting, the ambition, the fearlessness, the aggressiveness. In a civilized situation, in a corporate situation, in a situation where the government, the society is taking care of physical security, where the media is influencing and setting the cultural norms and values, those earlier masculine values of independence, strength, fearlessness, courage, leadership, they're actually dangerous, and they actually get in the way of getting along, in like a corporate office setting. And it's so extreme, it's so obvious that these qualities are punished. Now, maybe some of you are hearing that and saying, Howard, I'm so strong that, they can punish me and it won't even influence me, it won't influence me. But that's not what it is. It's stronger than that. Because that was my attitude, okay? Which was, I don't care about societal, cultural attitudes. I'm a strong man. I will remain independent, and this stuff won't bother me. And even if I'm punished, I'll still hold on to, who and what I am. But it doesn't really work that way. Because it's punished and it's discouraged right from the start. So it's not even a conscious thing. For example, let's say two men apply for the same job, and they are really equally qualified. And it's an office job, working with a bunch of, with a bunch of other people. And one of them is big, strong, athletic, fearless, booming voice, strong presence, confident leader of a man, a lion of a man. And there's just no denying it. There's just no denying it. And the other man is a gentle, friendly, brotherly, agreeable, humorous, good attitude, getting along kind of guy. Which one are they going to hire? And it's not even conscious. And I'm putting that forward as like an individual situation. But the stronger the independent young boy, he's not going to get invited to parties. He's going to get, worse grades. People are going to give him a harder time. And those qualities are going to slip away from him. He's going to let them go if he wants to get along in the world. And not all of them, a lot of them. And in this way, the men are losing their masculinity to get along in a feminized, gynocentric world. But what's happening with the women? Because the exact opposite is happening with the women, isn't it? They can't afford to be those, feminine, nurturing caretakers that they were just 40, 50 years ago. Housewives that stay at home and, take care of the nest and look after the children. Not very smart. Well, smart, but, not very informed about the outside world, right? This was the very stereotype that women wanted to get away from. This was part of the impetus, motivation for feminism. And in this world, the woman has to be able to balance her checkbook. She has to be stronger. She has to be independent. She could not get away with, adopting that feminine attitude. And it will be shamed and condemned in the workplace. So the men are being forced to become softer and weaker to get along with the group. And the women are forced to be getting stronger, less emotional, less nurturing to get along in the group. And I would put it that the women are becoming more than they were, and the men are becoming less than they were. And the whole society and the whole culture is forcing it, is requiring it. And it's more than just, you're going to be punished. It is nonstop from birth. We're trying to fit people. The system is trying to fit people into being good citizens, and fulfilling their role for society. And those roles have changed from the time we were born to the time that we exist right here. And that's confusing. These roles have changed from our evolutionary sex roles. Man protects and dominates, leads, is aggressive, and has to have those qualities to survive. The woman, nurturing, protective, cautious, submissive. Those are the qualities that her sex needed to survive. But not today, not in a civilized world. Now, if the shit hit the fan and everything came tumbling down and civilization started to, crack, well, that would change, wouldn't it? And that's why a lot of men kind of look to the idea of like a zombie apocalypse in this kind of appealing way. I hope men realize, that it would, that wouldn't really be what would happen and you'd lose all of civilization. But that's a different video. And I do a lot of videos on this subject. So don't be thinking, that I'm like hopping on, the prepper bandwagon. I am talking about the end of civilization in all of my videos. And this dynamic of the men being less masculine to get along in a group and the women becoming more masculine to get along in the world, this dynamic fits perfectly into a large part of many of my videos. It's like a puzzle piece. I've been painting this picture and putting forward this idea, and this piece fits right into the puzzle, doesn't it? Another thing I'd like to add into this subject is that I don't think that, civilization will come crashing down. I think it is just like a slow collapse. Kind of like a person who loses their health over the course of 20 years and then finds out that they've lost, some basic physical abilities. A collapse, a slow collapse, not just a complete, crashing down. So, keep that in mind, gentlemen, that, this is a slow collapse. Don't be thinking that there's going to be this one big event where it all goes. No, it can just slowly happen all around you. And you can be born into the world, and civilization can be at one stage, and by the time you come to the end, of your life, it can be at a totally different stage. And The evolutionary biology that you had that was suited could be completely unsuitable for the civilization that we're in. So we have to be adaptable men. We have to recognize situations. We have to be adaptable to the situations. Well, I'm going to leave it at that for now. So let me know what you think about this subject in the comments section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I hope to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.